bottom left of the map, the 1-0 lead in the series so far for CJ Entus.
CJ Entus Hydra.
Hydra taking the lead, taking down his opponent, game number 1, playing now on Whirlwind against his opponent who spawns to the bottom right of the map. For LGIM in blue we have
LGIM KangHo.
And so far, these two have never met offline. KangHo had a lot of success, and funny as it is, one of the opponents that he probably faced the most is actually true. He faced him like 4 times or 5 times in best of 3s. Hydra, on the other hand, there's a lot of maps played, especially, of course, in Pro League. But here in WCS, he was able to take down Impact, and he also took down Roro. So pretty good run so far. And a very interesting style that he shows in the last game. Very different from what we've seen on him going up against Roro. But we have both of them now going into the same timing for their expansion. Both of them on a big map like Whirlwind going into Hatch first.
Yeah, and you know, a little bit unlucky here for KangHo. The Hydra's going to get this spot off. I guess with the Overlord being spotted the right away too, so he knows he's got to turn around, he knows where his opponent's location is, but now they both know. But what Hydra does know that KangHo doesn't know is the timing of the hatchery, and a faster pool goes down for Hydra here. On the other hand, now them going into gas, just both going for pools. Extra drone on the other hand for KangHo, and I mean, on Whirlwind this is a good way to play it.
Yeah, on a map like Whirlwind right now, with both of them knowing where their opponents spawn, that is of course already important, and the position for the Overlord of KangHo is now quite significant, since he wants to find out if there are early links running towards his base. As you already pointed out, he doesn't really know what the timing is in the main base of his opponent, so he doesn't see what he's up against. But he sees the second Overlord by now, and that gives him of course already a little bit of an indicator that he isn't going up against a really early pool. Would have seen the Zerglings by now as well. Yeah. So that's definitely also true. So right now, with the timing and nothing happening, KangHo knows that his opponent is going at least in more of a macro build and not starting to rush him early on. Which is a valid option. We've seen it yesterday when DIG was losing his matches against Savage.
Yeah.
Double gas now coming in for KangHo already.
Yeah, he did this kind of like this last time and then skipped speed to get the fast upgrades. Hydra does not see this.
It's much harder to scout on this map with the Zerglings if you compare it to Relic Watcher, where the distance between the bases is a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Right now we have the Zerglings actually moving in for KangHo and trying to find out exactly what's happening in the main base, aka, do you have gas, what exactly are you researching, and how many harvesters do you currently have? Yeah,
you're right, it's those are the things he wants to see, and actually with the Link bumping into that Zergling, I don't know, oh, he barely gets in there. And this is great for KangHo. Sees no gases. He's like, alright, I'm way ahead in gas right now. And he starts speed actually, because he knows that it's going to be useful to him.
Yeah, the Queen's already waiting at the bottom of the ramp. They know they can't chase a Zergling, but they can at least wait. And KangHo is actually going into Speedling attack apparently.
Yeah,
12
like
links already built. Speed just started. He could hide those links and up to the point where speed is completed, but that would also mean that he's getting a massive amount of Zerglings and is just gonna YOLO it, because speed is still a far bit ahead, away, and that's exactly what he does. He's going for a type of strategy that players like Hyun have been doing quite a lot, especially in Wings of Liberty, but getting 22 harvesters and then just Zerglings, Zerglings, and Zerglings with the Queens at the front to make sure that no links of Hydra are sneaking in and finding out what's going on.
Supply block here, a little bit annoying for him though. He did lose his Overlord there. He's going to counter supply block Hydra on the other hand, so I guess it's all good in KangHo-ville, but he has 4 queens, and with 4 queens, Hydra's not going to be expecting this so much.
The supply block doesn't matter too much for him, since he was waiting for the inject anyways. But without all the Overlords that he takes down and the active queens on the map, he knows exactly where his opponent is positioned, and he can sneak along the lines of no vision for Hydra. And speed is going to hit in just a second, and now we have no speed for Hydra, and KangHo is moving in. The Overlord just barely saw a feel. Here we go. He's trying to bust through. Spinecrawler is being built. This is kind of the attack that Hydra used in the last game. 3 queens at the front. There's a couple of transfuses, but I don't think there are enough.
Yep. 1 transfuse, 2 transfuses, but like you said, doesn't look like it's going to be enough. I don't think he can hold here. He's playing this way too greedy. 10 roaches on the way. but I feel like enough damage has already been done here to really make this disastrous for Hydra. These queens actually do not have a solid ramp hold. The drones in the whole position try to mess them up, but it's not happening.
More and more Zerglings are streaming across the map. KangHo is going for it. 22 harvesters, more and more Zerglings are being built. The roaches are already taken out. The queens on top of the ramp are gone. The drones are starting to fight, but the wall is still open, and the rest of the Zerglings streaming in. And KangHo is showing Hydra how it's done. In game number 1, he himself held an attack like this against his opponent, but in the second game, he is going for the aggressive build himself.
Yep. All the roaches starting to fall here. The harvester count equalized. And with the rest of the reinforcing lings, there's just not going to be enough roach production to hold. And with that, that's it. GG.
GG in game. The queen's down. No additional injects. A lava problem here for Hydra. He's losing his roaches as well. No +1 attack upgrade just yet. And KangHo brings us into game 3.
Like you said, kind of showing Hydra how it's done. And I feel like that was a sneaky build for him because he showed 4 queens. And then when you go 4 queens, you can do this like the YOLO type move. I like how you described it. But he hit it well. And it's really good for close spots, not cross.
It was just really well done how he executed it, and the most important part of it was just moving out with the queens and taking down the overlords. The realization of what was going on for Hydra was came very late in the game, and he was already trying to block with the double evolution chamber at the top of the ramp and going into roaches, but it was just too much. KangHo was not going for some like little bit aggression build where he's trying to just go into a macro game afterwards. He was going all out with this. 22 harvesters, that's it. And from that point on, Zerglings, and nothing else but Zerglings pushing his way through the wall, taking down roaches and queens alike. And there was nothing else that his opponent could do there.
Yeah. Well, game number 3 going to be on our final map, Polar Night. And KangHo, I don't think he's going to be aggressive here on this map again. He may change up his style. We're going to find out right now. One of these Zerg players is going to the Premier League right here. We're going to watch it.
Going into the game now. KangHo versus Hydra. Hello.